No doubt about it. This is weird.
From the land of conjures, flying through the internet to your device like a UAP, hauntingly unexplained and downright weird, this is the Witching Hours, and we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever and whenever you're listening to this program. I am Frosty, and joining me, as always, is the medium, Jenny Lee. How are you doing, Jenny?
I'm feeling more awake than I was about 2 hours ago, so all is well.
Yeah, all the napping and all that stuff that needs to take place, especially after your busy week. So you've had a busy one. You're still recovering. So
yes, I am.
Yeah, from the day jobs. Welcome in, everyone. It's glad to see everyone in here. Welcome in. So nice to be back again for another week. We were talking with 122. I think this is episode 122, something like that. So
something like that.
Moving right along. Yeah, we got a lot. Yeah, and so we're moving kind of speedily on towards our another anniversary for the show, because we started in October, so we're about a month away from 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 years.
What?
Yeah. We're getting there pretty quickly. So we got that coming up. That'll be actually a pretty fun show we're going to have planned next month. We'll do our Halloween special where we do the spooky hours. So I guess we can go ahead and say, if you have a story that you would like to share, an extra spooky story, maybe something you haven't talked about yet, you haven't shared, a house that you lived in, someone's house you spent the night at, someplace you used to work where things kind of just seem to happen. Feel free to go into our Discord, or you can even write us an email at the witchinghourspodcast@gmail. Send us in your story, and we will have that. We'll bring that to everyone live on the spooky hours. So you can get that in. We're going to be doing that this year. Anyway, Jenny, ready to get into some weird news?
Of course.
All right. Well, the first thing I wanted to get to this evening is, last week we talked to Michael Schratt, Mike Schratt, and he brought up the UAP hearing that was going to be taking place the next day, which was last Tuesday.
Yep.
And of course, I didn't get to watch it live. I was at work, but we did watch kind of a long.
The very first one that was on, I put on at work and made my students watch it.
Yeah.
And they were very upset because the Johnny Depp hearing was happening. And they're like, why can't we watch that instead? And I said, this is about UFOs. And they said, this is boring.
Yeah. Yeah. What it takes to keep people entertained nowadays, right? So, yeah, there was another UFO congressional hearing this week. It kind of the summary, if you're not, if you weren't up to date on what was going on. The title of the committee task force hearing was Restoring Public Trust to UAP Transparency and Whistleblower Protection. So there's a big focus on the idea of, were the whistleblowers being given enough protection with the UFO? Was there enough protection being put in for people to feel comfortable coming forward and things like that? I think the one thing that we really did get out of this, Jenny, the one thing that I really took is the new declassified video.
Yes.
An MQ-9 drone, there's video of an MQ-9 drone firing a Hellfire missile at an orb-shaped UAP off the coast of Yemen in October 2024. And the missile appears to hit the object and blow up into a bunch of pieces, except that the orb just keeps zooming right along unaffected.
Yes.
So we got
There's
another
a-
video.
There's a lot to read into that. First of all, why are we shooting missiles at things when we don't know what it is?
Yeah.
Like, are we still that dumb?
Yeah.
But then, of course, the biggest part of it is it does no damage to the orb.
No damage. And
Yeah.
so I put the video up on Discord, and I put it up on our Facebook site. If you'd missed it, you can catch it out there. And yeah, you see this thing zooming along. It looks pretty similar to the things we saw like in the Go Fast and the Tic Tac videos. This thing is moving along pretty quick, and a Hellfire missile hits it, and nothing happens. And I would just say, when I was in the Army, I worked in a unit that dealt with that exact missile in a drone unit. So I'm not an expert, but I am somewhat familiar with.
You're more familiar than a normal person.
And I've seen what a Hellfire missile can do with my own eyes. And it's definitely not, it definitely can leave damage. I'll just say it that way. Yeah. And so there's no way
it
that
shouldn't have not done any damage to it.
any craft would have walked away unscathed, zooming along at 1,000 miles an hour or whatever it was. So that's interesting. I guess a lot of people are going to be picking that apart and trying to figure out what that means. Of course, George Knapp was present at the hearing as well. I thought it was really interesting, Jenny, that he brought up Bob Lazar.
Yep. He was bringing up all kinds of stuff.
He was. He was having he was getting his money's worth.
And the representative Luna was bringing up all kinds of things too. It was weird. I thought one of the weirdest things was listening to the House representative people ask questions about terminology that are things that we talk about all the time. Like crash retrievals and, like the one guy, I don't remember what his name is, but the guy with the Southern accent, like talking about it. Yeah, that guy. Like, what did he keep saying? Dadgummit?
Dadgummit, yeah.
But like to hear those people using the terminology about these things that like we talk about it as was really interesting and unusual.
Yeah. He meant, George Knapp mentioned Bob Lazar. He kind of talked about, he was bringing up a lot of things. I thought it was interesting, and I wonder how many people in Congress were upset about that, considering, he's been raided by the FBI and all those kinds of things, evidently because he has a sample of the element 115, which we have for our channel points down below.
Yeah.
So if you want to use some element 115, feel free. You can highlight your questions with our element. You cannot go the speed of light by creating a gravitational point in front of your sports model UFO, but you can highlight your messages with our element 15. So there you go. So I thought it was interesting. Will anything come out of it? I don't know. I think the big takeaway, I think we would be kind of, we probably should mention if someone wants to highlight is that there are still people who are being pressured by the government and mistreated as whistleblowers. Go figure.
Yeah. It's like they use the new program of turning in information to be like a way for them to harass people all over again.
Yeah. It was like a moth to a flame.
What a shocker.
Hey, feel free to come out. Feel free to whistleblow. Feel free to talk about your UAP
we're not gonna do anything bad to you. Just kidding.
Yeah. And then people started coming out of the woodwork, and they very quickly got a rude awakening. I think another one was was that Dylan, was it Borland?
Borland, yeah, I think.
Yeah, who was at Langley Air Force Base, which is our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Where he saw all kinds of stuff coming out of Langley. Of course, NASA's there and everything.
Harassed every day since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Up to their old tricks. Nothing new there.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, I guess there, it's keeping if there's anything good to come out of it, it's at least they're keeping some of the information, out in the public. So we'll see. Keep hoping for something to come out of it. Getting into news story one, I thought this was interesting. I actually saw this after the show last week. It popped up on my news feed. Russia announces a new cancer vaccine.
Oh yeah, you're talking about this.
Russia has announced a therapeutic mRNA cancer vaccine called Enteromix, according to their health agency. And preclinical trials that allegedly reduced tumor size, slowed growth, and improved survival in lab or animal models. It is said to be targeting colorectal cancer first and moving into glioblastoma and some melanomas. Officials claim the vaccine is ready for use pending on regulatory okay. But there are a couple things. There are no publicly available peer-reviewed human studies yet. And ready to use seems to mean experimental or limited setting. But Russian officials who release this are claiming like a 100% success rate. So another issue with this is this has only been announced through Russia media and through India media. So this isn't, which isn't completely surprising given the state of conflict. But I thought it was worth announcing or talking about anyway that at least Russia's saying that they have some kind of possible vaccine for different versions of cancer. So something to look at, I guess.
Yeah.
No thoughts?
I got plenty of thoughts. You heard all my thoughts. I don't think I should share all my thoughts on the podcast.
Okay. Wasn't that what a podcast is for? Is to share?
Well, it's just I'll say I'm listening to an audiobook about plants, and today part of the discussion in it was talking about how broccoli, eating large quantities of broccoli, has been proven to help people clear lung cancer. So there's that.
Hasn't there always been a thing that like vegetables like represent different parts of our anatomy?
Oh, I don't know about that.
So when there's like an idea like broccoli is like represents the lungs.
Does it? I never heard that before.
And then it's like carrots with the eyes and like I don't know.
Yeah,
there's all this kind of connection between vegetables.
I just know the Andy Cap comic joke about broccoli. Why is broccoli shaped like a cartoon fart? Because it smells like it.
I don't know if I know that one.
Proceed with your weird news.
Story number 2, the Conjuring house to be auctioned on Halloween. The Rhode Island farmhouse that inspired the Conjuring films is going up for auction on October 31st after falling into foreclosure. The 18th century
it was
property,
in foreclosure. I didn't realize that.
The 18th century property had become a destination for ghost hunters and overnight investigation tours. Its current owner, Jacqueline Nunez, lost her entertainment license in 2023, but continued operations. Now paranormal lovers and haunted house enthusiasts are buzzing over who might buy it and what will happen with it next.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people have been chiming in. One of your TV favorites, Amy Bruni, put a post out the other day saying that she was not going to purchase it. A lot of people were wanting her to, and she said she was not. And same thing has come up with Jason Hawes, who said that there is a lot of damage, black mold, all kinds of. The house is in a very bad state, from what I understand. Just secondhand knowledge. I don't know that but I've been hearing it's in very bad condition.
Jason Hawes could have look over the plumbing for you.
Yeah. So I will say, comedian Matt Rife, who bought the Warrens' home, has been talking about possibly purchasing this as well.
Wow.
So we'll see. But if you wanted to investigate the Conjuring house, that might be a possibility again with a new owner. Speaking of the Conjuring, I just wanted to add a note here for the next story, which I thought was nice. I haven't seen the movie yet, but evidently the new Conjuring film and the last Conjuring film in the franchise had a tribute at the end of the movie for Dan Rivera. So the upcoming film, The Conjuring Last Rites, includes a dedication to Dan Rivera, a longtime paranormal investigator with the New England Society for Psychic Research. Of course, Rivera passed away in July after attending the Devils on the Run event featuring the infamous Annabelle doll. So,
that's pretty cool.
That's nice to put in there, considering the connection to all the things that are happening there. And then finally, a haunted hospital is shut down in Texas. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, a reportedly haunted hospital in Texas that had become a popular site for paranormal tours under the ownership of the Curious Twins Tours and Events, has been closed to the public. The city cited major structural safety issues, Issuing the shutdown under building safety codes, owners expressed surprise, claiming they weren't given much notice or guidance on remedial steps. Fred Garza Guzman said he was baffled by the decision. He noted Curious Twins had held at least 20 educational tours and investigations at the hospital since 2019 and has never been cited for safety concerns or violations. We believe it was a direct target of being a new owner, he said. We found it to be very much really strange, but we've been cooperating with the city. So I think I'd actually seen a video on YouTube recently of people investigating that hospital. It did look like it was in pretty bad state.
Yeah. I mean, some of those old buildings, people shouldn't be breathing in the stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like being in the army barracks. Don't breathe in, you know.
Or my building when they were redoing the air conditioning.
Yeah, there you go. So there we go. That was the weird news. Sandy Streun is a witch, shamanic practitioner, seer, healer, and pet communicator. Sandy took her first class 8 years ago, and much to her and the teacher's surprise, was able to connect with a departed loved one for a classmate in her first class. She developed her gifts quickly after that and started attending events, doing private readings, and house parties within 6 months. Her gifts have grown ever since. Sandy uses her abilities with the goal to help people. Please welcome to the show, Sandy Streun. How are you doing, Sandy?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you about all of your experiences and weirdness and wonderful woo-woo things.
I love cool things.
And, you know, so many things in this field, you know, crossovers. So, you know, we get to talk to a lot of psychics and to a lot of mediums, and it's always interesting to hear because it's all the way all this works is different for everyone.
It is.
So it's really interesting to kind of get to know how all this came about. So I guess, you know, the first question we'll start off with tonight is, well, when did kind of all this start for you? Not just necessarily, you know, discovering gifts, but also like interest in these kinds of things.
When I was a child, I had a reoccurring dream that I was hiding behind a little wall, and beyond the wall, there was a row of ghosts kept going by. And I had this dream over and over and over again until one time they finally said, okay, you passed. You're not going to have this dream anymore. So needless to say, I feel like this has been me forever.
Yeah. When you're having that dream as a kid, was it scary? Was it like a nightmare?
It was scary. I was hiding. I knew they were there, and I knew it was like double-edged. Like I could see myself hiding, and I was hiding. So I was viewing myself hiding, but still viewing this parade of ghosts. And of course, years later now, it's like, oh, okay, well, I passed.
Do you feel like that dream, or because it sounds like it was maybe, you know, some higher up helper trying to get you to experience something? Do you think that dream, now looking back on it, was in some way like preparing you for things to come?
Absolutely. Just to get me to a point of being desensitized so I wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're always wary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we look at everything with open eyes. It's not everything is friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. And I have learned that I have so many protectors, amazing, strong protectors around me, that I'm very grateful, and I give my gratitude to them all the time. And they have gotten me to where I am with a lot of pushes.
They like to do that, don't they?
Oh my goodness. I took a year off, And then I was just starting to think about getting back into doing events, but I hadn't yet. And boom, my Facebook went away.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. It was gone for like 2 days for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I clicked send for the money and the application for an event, my Facebook came back.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really my only way I connect. Because I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm older and I'm tired.
Saying I'm getting there too.
It just describes us.
Getting there too.
Our naps before
Getting older and tired.
Yeah, I'm just plain tired. So I can only really, communicate through one media. I only have one social media, really. That's it.
Well, if that's what works, then that's what works.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
because see, I don't know if if we've actually even specifically talked about this on the Witching Hours, but we're going to be grandparents like pretty soon. So I figure once I'm a granddad, I can get that nap before we come. That's okay, right? Look, I'm allowed the nap.
Yeah, that's what grandpas do is they take naps.
Yeah. I've earned that nap at this point, right?
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Other than the weird ghost dream, did you have other strange experiences as a child?
Absolutely. I was always getting woken up during the night and running into dad's room saying, I had a bad dream and I can't fall back to sleep. And and there was also the thing of I was very small and I did not like the curtains being open at night because the aliens were going to look in at me. And I just didn't like that. I would like hide away from them, from the windows, anything that the curtains were open. And I was too young to know what aliens were.
Yeah.
And my household was not, back in the 60s, there weren't like a lot of aliens things shown on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my family wasn't one to be watching any of that anyway. So how I knew any of that is beyond me.
Do you actually have a memory of seeing any aliens in the window, or it was just like this fear that you just didn't really know where it came from?
I knew that they looked in. I just knew that they looked in. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to say, and that just completely flew out of my head. Maybe it'll circle back around.
No.
Who knows? Maybe not.
You make a good point though about the time frames, because some of that, like you don't really realize, me looking back over this, I thought, like Roswell 47, for instance, that, that was something that was really widely talked about in the 50s and 60s, but it wasn't. It really didn't, like, people didn't really note Roswell until like the late 80s is when it kind of started becoming famous again. And, you get what kind of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Spielberg and E.T. in the early 80s.
In the 80s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And before that, it wasn't, of course you have some sci-fi and stuff, but it wasn't the way we think of it today.
No.
For sure. Yeah.
I also remember, and I believe it was like the 3rd grade. It wasn't much more than that. We were doing things from mythology. So I was so into that, like so into that. And now they are, they're the gods and goddesses that I commune with.
Yeah.
The ones that is like, oh, wow, I didn't know where that interest came from, but now I commune with them.
We were talking about this a little before the stream about how it's very interesting how the things that we are interested in and the things that happen to us as a kid, they go, for many people, it seems they go through a lapse of a long time, like you were talking about, of like just having to learn how to be a grown up or what have you, and then at some point they tend to circle back around.
Absolutely.
So
in 2027, I'm going to Egypt. I don't have it booked yet, but I'm going. Regardless.
That's right.
I remember I need to go there.
Nice.
I remember you telling me that. And in my reading for you, they said yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting because when we were talking about that, it got me thinking about, why that seems to be the case. Like we tend to go back and kind of recognize things from the childhood, because I've done that as well. I have a connection with witches, which is kind of weird. I used to have a lot of recurring nightmares and dreams, not just nightmares, but nightmares and dreams about witches, which has become a huge kind of part of what, the world that we're in. And then, go ahead.
Has anyone talked to you about that?
No.
I kind of feel like you were like a persecutor in Salem. I hate to say that, but that's what I'm feeling.
He has ancestor
Who was accused.
Who was accused, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always, I've done some past life regressions. I haven't had one from that time frame. So that would be interesting to see if maybe that's one I could try to go back to and see what happened there. But I had an obsession. I still am. Like, I even created a channel in our Discord that's just for witches, like just to post a witch. And they can be real or fictional or whatever. But I think one of my favorite movies still is The Witch that was done. I'm completely fascinated with the idea of witches. And same thing with UFOs and stuff like that. It's like something that kind of enters the psyche. And I wonder why that is though. Like, I know for me, there's almost a point where the world that we live in now seems so different than the world that I grew up in, or at least I have that perception. And so I wonder if, some of it is like a nostalgia of things that you remember from a childhood, or if it's a synchronicity of things that you were supposed to remember from your childhood. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I feel like we just spend so much time trying to focus on being a human being in this life, which is so difficult.
Yes.
So that we put all those things that we knew as children away, because that was magic. And it's very difficult to live in this world with magic. Mm-hmm. And then it gets to a point where, I'm like, well, past the point of caring what anybody thinks about me being woo-woo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm all for it. Bring on the magic.
Bring on the magic. Yes. I agree with you 100%. I think, I think that's one of the reasons that as a young person, I've really got into those things, is because I wanted to live in a magical world for sure, and I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets beat out of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes literally gets beat out of us.
Very true.
But I was going to say, I think that what maybe are synchronicities, or they seem like synchronicities of bringing it back, is in a lot of cases, spirit giving us those nudges and pushes to go back to those things, because it wasn't there for no reason. There was a reason for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of life is a lesson. It's just learning to look past the reality to what the lesson is. It's kind of like the covering. Covering over the reality.
Yeah. Or like our perceived reality, or like the reality that we're supposed to think is what is reality.
Right.
Based on our current culture and worldviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, kind of getting back into that, that's something to think about as well. It's almost like these things that we're interested in as adults, like that seed had to be planted when it could be planted, Yep. And then it's something like you're able to kind of work your way back to a certain degree. I mean, it's definitely what we've done,
Yeah.
So.
Right. And I just feel like some people are so stuck into the safe zone of
Mhm.
no, I've never seen this, never heard, never.
Except that one time.
Yeah. They always have a but one time.
One time.
I mean, and then there's the rest of us who are trying to get people to understand there's more to what you're seeing with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Way more.
And speaking of UFOs, I have seen one as well.
Ooh,
and
tell us.
The funny thing is, well, I was just driving with one of the husbands, the first one. And I was like, wow, look at that. Go that way. And he just kept going the other way. And I'm like, why wouldn't you go that way? And I don't know. So that was just like pure fear reflex on his part to just avoid.
So he saw it too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The funny thing is that it was in an area where I had heard my grandmother talk about many years before that, because she used to walk from her house to the store, and she would say that she would see these things go flying way over her, like coming over her, big things.
Wow.
So she had seen them in the same area.
So what did you see? What did it look like?
It was so long ago. I just remember like big, low, and not quite neon green, but like a glowing green.
Wow.
But just huge. Just something that was so low that there was no way that anything we know of that flew could be that large and that low.
Yeah, like you're not going to mistake it for an airplane or a star or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really interesting that your grandmother saw it for many years.
And believe me, my grandmother was one of the most basic people there was. You know what I mean? Just salt of the earth, like no nonsense.
Yeah.
So that's her but one time story. But one time I saw this.
Well, you know, I kind of have that same story. My grandmother told me a story about her seeing a UFO, and she was very much kind of like the no nonsense kind of. She was a school teacher, you know, keeping everybody in line. Don't have time for fun. You need to get your work done. She was very much like work. And there's, you know, talking about riding in the back of a car, having a UFO follow him down Portsmouth Boulevard when she was younger, and she was like coming back from the cleaners or something with her mom.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you know? I mean, we have this woman who has a degree, you know, she had a degree and she was a school teacher and she was very no nonsense. I'm not just going to throw that story out the window, you know?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've heard similar from other people who have said, yeah, I saw one. It would be people that you would never expect. But until someone starts a conversation, people don't talk about it.
Yeah. Most people aren't willing to just jump out and clearly be the weirdo in the group, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah. Well, you know, in their defense, I mean, so many people are mocked and ridiculed, as we were talking about in the news today. You know, you came out, you had this big congressional hearing where you're encouraging people to come out and to tell their stories in the government. You had the Congress coming out, telling people, share your stories, come out, let us know what's going on. We need to know.
It was a trap. It's a trap.
And they started being threatened by their bosses and ridiculed and like scapegoated and all kinds of things. So
it's all fear. Like, how ridiculous is it that they shot at something?
Yes.
That, like you said, not knowing what it was.
Yeah.
It's unidentified. It's name alone, unidentified. And have any of those things that we know of done any harm to any of us more so than, say, government?
And wouldn't you think they could have if they really wanted to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just fear. It's men not being, excuse me, Frosty. It's men not being able to have control over something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fear. Their fear. So we must kill it.
Yeah. Shoot it. Shoot it. Okay, so let's go back to.
I want to communicate with it. I would be like trying to send radio signals at it or something,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
Let's
Like
do the bomb.
yeah. Speaking of close encounters, yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to your journey. Okay, so you have weird experiences as a kid, and then when does this come back around for you? When do you start diving back into the magical and the unusual?
Okay, being told that it was weird that I knew everything, and like, well, I don't know why I know things. I just know things.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got to a point of saying, okay, there's something going on here. I really need to find out what this is. And then I took my first class. Oh, actually, before that, it's like, and this is something I find, a lot of people come to me and want me to say to them, you've got gifts.
Mm.
They want someone to acknowledge them.
Yeah.
And I guess I did too. Because I was in a group reading and the medium looked at me and he said, are you a practicing medium? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I was like, okay, oh, here's your sign, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I took my first class and never looked back. Now, and I also tell people not everyone is going to do what I do.
Yep.
They may use it in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
But since I was a child, my only thought was what you want to do when you grow up. I want to help people. And through my different careers, none of those jobs were maybe have been helpful, but not fulfilling until I found this. And now I'm like, this is it. And believe me, it's not easy. I don't know about you, but it's not, definitely not anything that can sustain me for a lifestyle. And there's been many times where I have wanted to give up and spirit will kick my butt and say, nope, not allowed. They will make me, I will feel sick when I think about like giving it up. It's like, nope, you're not allowed. It doesn't matter. I
had a very strange experience when I first started. I had like a really bad night when I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if I'm supposed to be doing this, show me a sign. And within 20 minutes, it's like, it was like midnight. A freaking dragonfly flew into the house. And then it got stuck in a spider web. And I pulled it out of the spider web and I took it outside and it just sat on my finger. Like, I think it would have sat there as long as I let it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have a dragonfly tattoo. Mm-hmm. So I was like, the dragonfly is my sign. So for that to happen at the exact moment that I asked for it, was like, okay, I got it. I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep going. And that was like probably 4 years ago or something. So I'm still going. We're still doing it. That's great. I'm still going too, but there are still times where I just like, oh, I don't know. But then they just like no. And they say, I'm not here to be prosperous from it. The ones that are may not be doing it for the right reasons. They're, they say that, but we do need money money is energy. So it's that exchange. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always say like, you wouldn't go to the dentist and expect them to do it for free. Right. You can't, you don't expect to go to the grocery store and just leave with everything. Right. Providing a service. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. But they say you reach the people that need you. Yep. And my Facebook page is all about fun, lessons, me trying to teach people, trying to help people to build a positive life so that I want to have this army of light workers, whether they go to an extreme about it or not, just the positivity to light up this world because we need it so badly. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We just want an army of beacons. Mm-hmm. And the more we share positivity, the more the next person starts to grow from that, and so on and so on. Mm-hmm.
just want to help people. I just want to shine a light.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've noticed recently, and without getting in too far down the rabbit hole, but it seems like to a certain degree, the world is really ready for this kind of thing. So many people are getting behind it. Spirituality has become way more mainstream than it would have been, when I was growing up. You hear terminology that, used to be kind of underground, has become really out in the open. But I feel like at the same time, there's been a big resistance to it as well. So, it's like, it really is a time where I think there are more light workers and there are more people who are being spiritual, and there are more people who are going back to older shamanistic traditions. But I guess whenever something like that happens, there's going to be kind of a repulsive action to that as well.
Yeah, and it just comes from fear. But, a witch's creed is do all things with harm to none. We are, beings of nature and love and faith and gratitude, not evil, no fear. We shouldn't be feared. Just as I say, I identify as a witch. Now is the first time in my life when I did say I identify as a witch, that I have faith, that I know what faith is now. Not all those years when I was going to church. Faith is not in a building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what for you personally, what does it mean to be a witch, and what kinds of things do you do or practice that makes it witchy?
Honestly, it's the way I live. And I don't typically sit down and do spells, but I do things with purpose. I light incense with purpose, asking for grace, showing gratitude. And everything I do, I pray no more now than I ever did. I have gratitude more now than I ever did. And I tell people, if they don't think they do a spell, they're nuts, because you sing happy birthday, make a wish, blow out a candle. That's a spell.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So it's an everyday lifestyle. I don't howl under the moon. I don't prance around naked, although I'd like to do both of those things outdoors.
Let's go, Sandy. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know. The neighbors just wouldn't agree, but
Yeah.
It's also becoming comfortable with different gods and goddesses, and some of the darker gods and goddesses. And dark doesn't mean evil. It means they're the heavy hitters, the power. They're the powerhouses to me.
So you brought up earlier when you were learning about gods and goddesses in elementary school that those end up being ones that you work with. So I guess I have a few questions about that.
Sure.
And I'll try not to overload you with all of them at once because I'm real good at it. But what gods and goddesses do you find yourself drawn to? And then how do you experience them?
Okay. It's just the way you do psychic mediumship. It's just a feeling, a knowing, of feeling them around you. Right now, Ganesh is just like, I'm so in love with Ganesh, like it could make me cry. The breaker.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It just, like, I have him everywhere in the house, and I usually wear him too, like everywhere. And Kali is my fierce mother goddess, and I love her so much, and I feel her love wrapped around me. I just feel her being very protective of me. Now, as a witch, the goddess that most witches work with the most is Hecate. She's the mother of witches. I do not have as much of a connection with her. And one time I journeyed to her kind of by accident. It was just the journey of take me where I need to go. And I went to her and I was like, I'm sorry that I don't like have an altar for you or, worship you maybe the way you think I should because I'm a witch. And she said, it doesn't matter. You're my witch. You're my witch regardless. You don't have to be, just dedicated to her.
Mm-hmm.
I find that there is more acceptance than people may think.
That's been my experience too. It's all of like these higher energies or deities or what have you. They don't want to be worshipped. That's a human thing that we created.
Right.
They want us to realize that we are also the same energy. And
absolutely.
We're
all made up of God and Goddess.
Exactly. And we have the power within us too. Yeah.
I love that. Someone that knows that language.
That's what Spirit is always trying to tell us, whether people want to listen to it or not.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah. And all setting, it's all the same. It all comes from the same source.
Yeah.
So no matter what no matter what deity or whatever you're ascribed to, it's all coming from the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
the names don't really matter. It's more the energies.
Yeah.
Like there's so many that overlap. It just depends on what pantheon, whether it's Roman or Greek or Norse or they're just like I'm eclectic. I'm like from everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Lakshmi is like, yes, please give me I keep her coin like in my
in your chest pocket.
Yes.
It's really kind of interesting with that because I just kind of had a thought about whether if it's just a way to be able to draw you into it. Because for me, now Vikings are really popular and Norse mythology is really big and they had the Thor movies and all that stuff. But when I was growing up, no one really talked about the Vikings.
Nobody knew.
My family, I have family from Norway, and I was like, how, they had the Olympics there, the famous one where, the skaters got into it and all that, and Lillehammer. And I remember my family being like, oh, like it's Norway, and that's where, your family came from. And I was like, oh God, how lame is that? Like they're out wearing funny clothes. And like, you don't
want a cool sweater?
Of course, and so, but, over time, what happened for me because that it's like, okay, so like I have ancestors that come from this place or whatever. And I started getting into that and I started learning about, the culture and learning about the mythology and learning about the history and really what that led me to was having an urge to want to learn how to read the runes. And how
Me too.
Yeah. And so it's like, like having a fascination with something and all that really was for me as a way to be able to trace my way back to that shamanistic root. And that could have been Slavic, that could have been Mediterranean, that could have been, any other place on the earth. But for me, that connection happened to be that,
Right.
Yeah.
I want to learn to read hieroglyphs now that I'm going to Egypt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got some time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I've done it before. You can actually download worksheets, like elementary school worksheets of like how to read hieroglyphs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'll have to look into that.
The internet's a wonderful thing. It can be a really wonderful thing.
Yeah, magic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been really interested to read the Book of the Dead, and it keeps popping up for me, and like with these opportunities to purchase it, and like I just haven't yet. I know it's coming. It'll come back around
at some point. Absolutely.
Yeah. It'll be something I have to read. Okay, so going through your list of kind of titles that you've given yourself, we talked about the witchy stuff. I think that different people have different definitions also for what a shaman is. So for you, what does being a shaman or practicing shamanistically mean?
It means journeying to the upper world and the lower world, and communing with the gods and goddesses there, and also healing, being a healer. But like, I'm a natural healer. Like, I haven't taken classes in healing, and yet I can do distance healing. I do healing on pets. I can, it just works through me.
Yeah. I think a lot of these types of things work and happen because we allow them to. It's like if you're trusting to allow it, then it happens and it works.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a very good way to put it.
But when people are fearful, they have fear of it either working or not working, is when that gets in the way of the trust and the allowing.
You know what gets in my way is rules. Like, I've tried Reiki a couple times. Like,
oh yeah, I hate rules, Sandy. That's why we need to be friends.
Like, the rules of Reiki, I'm like, no, this is not. No.
Yeah,
I can do the same thing just doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a rule follower.
we know Reiki practitioners, and many of which are in our chat, and we've had Reiki practitioners on the show. I've always wondered, though, it seemed, we talked about money earlier, so I get the money part, like, you can't give away everything for free and those kinds of things. But I always felt there was a little, and I could be completely wrong, so I'm feel free to put your opinions in chat if you disagree with this. But I always felt there was, with Reiki specifically, there was a little bit of gatekeeping that kind of went along with Reiki in terms of, like, I don't know, it's just kind of a vibe that I got from it. And I know it works. I've had Reiki performed and it's been wonderful. I don't know. Maybe that's just certain people that I've run into there. So I shouldn't condemn the whole thing, because I don't. There's wonderful practitioners who do really great things, but it just seemed, I guess maybe like you guys said, maybe there's just a little bit too many rules that go along with it. I don't know.
That's just me. That's just the way I am about it. Just like, I have to say I'm a shamanic practitioner, because I was told you're not a shaman unless you've died. And
really,
and then have had a shamanic death as well, which is like being buried in a grave, or I don't know, whatever. And again, the rules.
Yeah.
What are the rules?
Yeah.
I still say, you know what? I'm a shaman.
Yeah. Well, we have a question from Luce for you.
Okay.
Luce has been also wanting to get more into shamanic practices and has been working on it. Luce would like to know, how do you travel to the lower world? I have heard so many different stories that vary from my own journeys there.
Okay. First of all, we know I'm a weirdo, right?
Yeah, so you're in the right place.
Yeah. So when my teacher was saying there's many different ways that you can go to the lower world, she didn't guide us. She was just telling us different ways. Like, you can go downstairs, or you can, do this or do that. I slid down a fire pole, like a fireman pole.
That sounds like fun.
Right?
Yeah.
That was my way. And then when I got there, it was all dark and it was a cave, and I heard rustling, and I'm like, okay, you can come out. And who steps forward? Because when you go there, first thing you should be doing is looking for your guide in that world. So my guide for the lower world is Mothman.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
I love him so much. Yeah. Gives me a big hug.
With his wings?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Lou said, I slid down a slide in a fairy hole of a tree. So there you go. You're both sliding. Nice. You're both sliders.
Both sliding, yeah.
Poster said it's faster than walking downstairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just always make sure to have your animal protector with you, because if you come into trouble, they will pull you out.
What is your animal protector?
My main one is a Black Panther.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, her name is Jabba.
How do you go about finding out what your animal protector is?
You can do a meditation to go and meet them. Like I could do a meditation for someone to guide them to meet them. I think when I first started out, that's the way I needed to do it. But now I just know, like,
Yeah.
I have had ones, this side has always been the same. This side has come and gone I had a zebra.
Ooh.
That would sometimes be small, sometimes be large. I had a cougar. I had a baby elephant that wore Converse. And currently I have a bear.
Oh, cool.
And she's been with me for quite a while, but she likes to dress up. Like sometimes she'll look like the Sorcerer's Apprentice with that hat and sometimes she has a purse and big pearls on, and sometimes like pajamas and
So funny.
I'm whimsical, right?
Yeah.
So some of my animals and my life is whimsical.
Yeah. I think spirit definitely shows us things and ways to make it so that, first of all, that we can understand it, but also so that we can connect to it.
Absolutely.
So that your elephant in Converse is like,
oh, he was adorable. And the colors would change. Sometimes they would be like rainbow colors and sometimes blue or sometimes red. It was so cute.
That is adorable. I think someone needs to make an AI of this. Hoaxsters, you made some cool AI stuff for us last time. We had a weird animal. Hoaxsters, get on it. Okay, moving down the list.
Okay,
go ahead.
Well, we were talking about one thing too. You mentioned earlier about the fact of like having to believe in it or like not following rules. But we brought up some of the idea once again that we talk about a lot on this show, which is ritual. And I think that can be an important component. We've talked about that a lot. Would you agree with that ritual you think plays an important part in being able to do things, or no?
I'm torn about ritual.
Okay.
Ritual can be a very beautiful way to commune with your friends, with your like-minded people. But ritual also can remind me too much of church.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like washing your hands with intention can be ritual. Drinking something can be ritual.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all intention.
Yep.
Intention, and I think ritual can help bring about belief.
Okay.
Like if I do this thing, now I believe that it's going to happen. We've talked about this before, but I don't necessarily think, and this is just my thoughts on it, is that I don't know if we need ritual. I think we kind of know that we don't need ritual, but I think human brains sometimes can kind of use ritual as a bit of a crutch to get started.
Like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I do this thing, then the X, Y, and Z will happen because I
can't just sit in a chair and meditate and manifest it. I have to get this bowl out and I have to put these specific flowers in there and, whatever. Like it's a way to feel like you've done something physical to manifest something that is non-physical.
Yeah. Not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could say in that way I'm a bad witch.
Well, I think also for Frosty, like he's not thinking of it in the way of like the rules. If somebody else makes up rules for it.
No, for you.
Like
the ritual for you.
Your personal things.
Yeah.
I guess I do have some rituals of wearing like certain jewelry. The way my clothing is, like if I'm doing an event, I'll be very particular about my clothing. I want to feel a certain way, project a certain thing.
Mhm.
So I guess, rituals like that.
But it's like your personal rituals,
Yeah.
not the person who said you have to have a shamanic death by being buried in the dirt or whatever.
Right.
Not an establishment, although it does, do the same thing. But like your own certain ways. Like before you do readings, there's incense that you burn, and you have, everyone kind of has and you feel that prepares you, but it doesn't necessarily.
It doesn't have to
need to do that.
You don't need it. It's just like something that you do to prepare yourself.
But also, does that ritual actually get you better results because you believe now, because you're buying into it more than you did without the ritual?
Yeah.
That's
I don't think I used to just do a reading, but now I start all my readings with a prayer that I say out loud. And that prayer, I think, isn't necessarily for me. Part of it is a protection. I put a circle of protection around everybody. And I ask for whoever wants to come forward, right? And to thank you for protecting us in the sacred space and the sacred time. And often in the middle of that, spirit will stop me and be saying something where they weren't before. And I think it's because my sitter is actually listening to that and starting to relax. And once they're relaxing into the process, spirit is willing to come forward for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a very big ritual. I just didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Because that word can be,
it's a loaded word.
Different ways. It is.
Yeah, I'm thinking about witches' rituals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is a whole ceremony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have an elephant in Converse. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Hoaxsters. We needed this. Here we go. For those of you listening to the podcast, and you can't see this right now, it is an adorable elephant standing in a field with some trees, and it has some bright blue Converse shoes on. It's so cute. Thanks, Hoaxsters.
Perfect. Thank you.
Love it. So much fun.
But I love what I do, and I love being able to connect with the dead. And it's not disrespectful to say the dead. They know they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about it in a second. I know that Jenny's got a lot more to talk
you
about.
got to reset. It's 9:02.
We've hit the top of the hour. It's 9:00 already. We're already an hour into the show. We got 30 minutes left. So if you have a question or something that you would like, to ask about, or something that you would like to lead the conversation, something that you would like to ask Sandy, please put that in chat. If you can, if you're in Twitch, you can put the Element 115 in there to highlight your question to make sure we see it. We'll get that to you. I just remind everybody, if you're listening at another time in another place on a podcast, or checking us out on YouTube, or hanging out here tonight, if you can find somewhere to subscribe, leave reviews, all of those things, I don't think I can clarify how much that can help our show as a way to support. Because the more of those things you get, the more that you pop up in those Google results and algorithms and all those things. And the more algorithms we pop up in, the more people that are going to jump into our conversations that we have here, which I think we all enjoy having. So first off, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the support that you guys give us. And I meant to mention this at the beginning, and I'll mention it now. Guys, we're at 470 subscribers over on YouTube. We just hit 400 last week.
Wasn't it kind of over the weekend?
Yeah, I couldn't get the thing up fast enough, and we're almost at 500 already. So we're booming over there on YouTube, and I want to thank everyone who subscribed over there
and shared it.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you are watching the show or hanging out with us now, then you already know Medium Jenny Lee. But did you know you can book a private session, explore her spiritual services, or check out her latest content all in one place? head over to mediumjennylee.com. Whether you're seeking guidance, answers from beyond, or just curious about what the spirit world has to say, Jenny offers personal readings, mentorship, and more. Don't miss your chance to connect directly. Visit mediumjennylee.com and take the next step on your spiritual journey. Your journey to the weird is just a click away. So, questions, put them in chat. And so let's get back to it. All right, Jenny.
All right, we have a question from Nicole over on Facebook. How do you meditate without picking up spirit? I think she might mean like getting like an attachment or something.
Oh, well, you have to have constant protection. You can say surround yourself in a white light of protection. Some people visualize closing shutters, closing the garage door, putting themselves in a suit of armor. Any way you can protect yourself. You might want, if you're really concerned about something dark, you would surround yourself in perhaps like black tourmaline, which is more protective. And if you really want to go all out, have a mirror over the black tourmaline, so anything that comes is reflected back.
Okay. Well, that's a great answer. Let me ask another question, because I took that question another way, so we can answer both sides of this.
Okay.
The way I read this question, and I could be completely wrong, is how do you meditate without having spirit come through?
Why is it bad for spirit to come through when you meditate?
I don't know.
Maybe she's just trying to have some peace and quiet.
I mean, isn't that how you find enlightenment? Like, you got to find the peace. Like, you got to hit that.
Okay. Again, I'm a bad witch. I'm a bad medium. I don't meditate. I call my meditation is done when I shower, when I'm washing dishes, when I'm mowing the grass, when I'm shoveling. Not that I do that anymore because I'm older. I got a guy now. But when I'm doing anything that's kind of mindless and repetitive, that's when I'm clear and calm. And actually, that's when messages do come through to me, random from for different people and things, because I am clear. Do I sit and try to clear my mind? No. I guess the way I do that is by watching stupid things on TV. Like right now, it's Life After Prison.
Yeah,
that clear my mind.
Nicole said she's trying to relax and she's constantly picking up information on other people.
Yeah.
Okay, so then ask for the time to be for yourself only.
Yeah.
Ask for your own clarity. Ask that the messages are kept for when you want them, when you are ready to respond to them. We forget that we can ask them.
I know. We don't think about, like, when we're starting out with this stuff, we do not realize that we can do that.
I was getting ready to say, I can hear Jenny's voice because I've heard her say this a million times. You have to set an intention. And so if the intention is to find peace and relaxation, then maybe try to set that as the result that you're going to get from that meditation.
And the other thing for you, Nicole, is if you're picking up stuff all the time, even when you're trying to relax, you have to set boundaries.
Yep.
You have to say, not right now. Like if you want the information at some point in time, you can say, this is the time I would like that information.
Right.
Not right now when I'm trying to chill out.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
I get information in the shower. Like, I don't want to be wiping off myself going, and try to remember what I'm supposed to tell somebody. Yeah. No.
And why are they hanging out with us in the shower anyway? Can we have some privacy?
Yeah, they don't care.
No,
listen, if they want
I talk to my higher self. That's when I talk to my higher self in the shower.
Yeah.
But if she's me and I'm her, then it's okay if she's in the shower with me.
Yeah. We have another question from Kel. How does the panther come through? Is it just around, or does it only come when you need them?
No, she's always there. She's always there. It's just a matter of, I know she's always there, but when I do need her, then I will visualize her stronger, more solid, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would see her more solid. Otherwise, yeah, she's always there. What I love about my animals, and I have quite a few, is that if I'm having a difficult time falling asleep, I will call them around me, and then I just curl up with them like in a puppy pile and just go right to sleep. It's wonderful. It's wonderful knowing that they are there and you're so protected. Like I have a white wolf in front of me and a black wolf behind me. So plus I have birds above me, snake wrapped around my leg. Like, they're...
You have like a whole full-on menagerie.
I do.
In your bed.
But I love them. Not to mention my dragons flying overhead.
Oh, yeah. Luce was talking about her dragons earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Luce has the dragons.
Yep.
Kel's response to your answer is, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Let's see what's next. Okay. So one of the things you said in your definition of yourself was you're a seer. What constitutes a seer? What does that mean to you?
It means just more of an old-fashioned name for what we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another term. Like November, I'm doing a Viking event in New Jersey.
Cool.
And they were a vulva, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's just different names for the same. But you never know when someone's reading your bio, what word will resonate with them more.
Mm-hmm.
Or for like a Renaissance fair, I would more note it as, I'm a seer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Different wizards and all kinds of different names that have been given kind of throughout time. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to pet communicator. Is that living, deceased, or both? Yeah.
Both. Would you like to hear a cool story?
Yes, of course.
For sure.
Okay. My niece recently moved into a new home for her. So she had me come over. I went through the whole house, through the outside, the inside, told her all about it, what they would like, everything. And that was it. She was there and her husband was there, but their cat wasn't there yet. So when they moved in and the cat was there, about a month later, she contacted me and she said, something's wrong with Ham. He's hiding all the time. Is it just because it's a new place? And I was like, I feel like there's an animal there bothering him. So I went over there again and I found a smallish dog there, not, a dog spirit there. So I got his attention. I threw the ball for him for a few times. I got him to come up on my lap. And then I had her light a candle and I was telling him, like, your family is waiting for you. He said he was afraid. I was like, don't be afraid. You can go to the light. Your family's waiting for you. They love you. They miss you. So, and then... Then all of a sudden her husband starts crying, and I thought he was crying because he ate a hot pepper or something. But he said, I just got so sad all of a sudden. And that was when I had felt the dog go, and I think the dog went through him. Felt that energy.
Wow.
But my niece said the next day her cat was back to normal.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but when I had been there the first time, I didn't feel the dog. It didn't get activated there until the cat had been there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was like the dog had like puppy energy.
Yeah.
So the cat was like, no.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. Get out of my face, dog.
And then this past weekend, I just did a vending at an event called Wolfstock for a regional shelter. So I did a
Nice.
couple readings on dogs there. And I never really, it was not something I ever thought about. But anytime if you're out somewhere, it's like, oh, may I pet your dog? And then they start talking to me. So it's not something I trained on, and it's not something I ever thought about. It's just like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like,
happens. Yeah.
yeah.
Have you
communicated horses from?
I was getting ready to say, have you communicated with any unusual animals?
Horses quite often, and I don't even have to be near them. Yeah, and they can be in spirit or they can be still here. You know, if I'm doing a reading for someone and I'll be like, you have horses. So there's something wrong with the one's foot, you know, like not foot, but I'm saying like this, I don't know, like this part. Yeah. I haven't tried any exotics, but I haven't been to any zoo or any place exotic lately. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've had horses come through too.
Yeah.
They have a cool energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The best. Love them.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I would like to commune with an elephant.
Well, you need to get to the zoo.
I know.
Find a zoo nearby that has an elephant and then see if they'll talk to you.
Yeah.
And also if they're wearing Converse.
Right.
Hosters wants you to try some lizards. Talking to lizards.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah. Elephant would be super cool. I'm of the personal opinion that all animals are intelligent, but like the ones that we know that are probably more on par with a human intelligence, I think it would be really cool to have a conversation.
Well, somebody needs to go out to those darn orcas out there and talk to them off the coast of Spain.
Oh no, I know.
Kinds of boats. They need you, Sandy. You need to get out there. You need to take a trip to Portugal or something.
I was thinking about it. I was feeling it out, and I read what it said about they think it's like a learned behavior, and I really feel it's like more like they're rebelling. Like this, you guys need to stop messing up with our planet, with our lives. This is you're killing us.
The oceans are changing. I mean, we know that, and so an intelligent life form like them that live in the ocean, I can only imagine, are aware that things are changing.
They are aware.
They're aware of that because it's becoming pretty drastic, you know. So for sure. Yeah.
Sad.
I was kind of feeling that way too, Sandy. Like I didn't spend a whole lot of time like trying to feel into the orca thing, but that's kind of what I was picking up on too. It's like they're trying to get our attention. Be like, hey, MFers, you need to get it together. We're going to keep messing with you till you do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The only thing is that, again, goes back to the fear. We will retaliate against them instead of trying to understand.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want anybody going out there and harpooning an orca because they keep messing with ships. Like they need to understand why they're doing it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any other super weird experiences with spirit that we haven't talked about yet?
I would love to tell you my experience. One thing, the most recent, I think, would be when I was going to the Connecticut and I met you guys.
Yeah.
I'm in upstate New York. So I get off in Lee, Mass. And it's one of those, I think I took the right turn. The GPS didn't say rerouting, but I wasn't quite sure. But the road felt weird. And I had a friend with me. and I'm driving, and it just felt very closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving, and I say to her, there's a Native American settlement there, because I could see it. And then I'm getting goosies. And then I could feel and I could, see warriors on horses behind me. So I asked, why are you there? And they said, for protection, we're here to protect you from things that, I'll never forget this phrase, that cut and claw. And I felt like it was like, I could see what it was. It was like black and backbone sticking up and like long front legs and like dog like back legs, like bent like that. I guess it was a skinwalker, and I felt. So then we finally came out to the end of that road, and she's an empathic. So she's like, I don't feel right. I feel really closed in. Like I said, the road just felt like it was closing in, like the sides were just coming in. And then I got off that road and it felt much better. And then we got to a point where they said, we'll keep following you, but you're safe now. Mm. And so then that was the rest of it. Now, funny thing is, like 2 weekends ago, I went to another event in Connecticut, pretty much took the same way. I didn't go down that road. So
why did it take you there the first time?
Right. Yeah. So that was like some, interdimensional stuff.
Yeah. Some interference.
Another thing that I would love to talk about, and it's the weirdest thing.
We love the weirdest things.
It is the weirdest thing. It's so weird that it broke my brain for a while.
Okay, we like that too.
Yeah, I actually forgot about it until somebody else said it. Have you been to Penhurst, the Penhurst Asylum?
We have not.
But we are familiar with it.
Okay. I vended there a couple years, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Let me tell you, all those dead people, they love having us there. They love to see people happy. And I've asked them, are you okay? Do you want to leave? And they say, no, this was our home. Yeah. We're okay. Anyway, so a friend, another medium, and I were investigating at night. We're not using equipment. We are the equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mediums are the equipment. Correct.
Yeah. So we go up to a second floor because other people spread out on the other floor. So we went up to the second floor, and there was 2 hallways, one that goes right in front of us and back, and one that went to the left and back. We looked down one, looked down the other. We looked at this one, and we saw a face and a door, and the door moved. So we said, of course, we're going to go down that way. Yeah. But by the time we got down there to that door, we didn't feel anything. It had already dissipated. Okay. So we go back and we came out this way. There was no way to go around. Oh. So that's why I said I worked so hard on trying to figure out how that happened. Yeah. That I broke my brain and I forgot about it until she brought it up. Yeah.
So it's like there was no roundabout.
Nope.
Those hallways did not connect
one hallway.
But anyway, when you came out, you were in the other
other hallway. We're like, what? What?
Wow.
Yeah, we're like, okay, let's get out of here.
That is really strange.
And I've talked about it with a few people, and most of them are like, yeah. And I don't feel believed. And it wasn't until at the Connecticut Paracon that I felt like I told that story to someone, and they truly believed it. Yeah. It's such a relief when you feel believed. Like, I don't lie. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not one to make up stories. It was pretty bizarre.
Well, I think that's one thing that you find with a lot of people in the paranormal. Are there people who are out there to create things to get clicks and stuff? I think so. But most people that I meet in the paranormal are truth seekers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're all getting together to share our experiences. I am not going to make up a UFO experience because I want to know the truth. I want to find out what's really happening with that. I'm not going to make up seeing a Bigfoot because I want to know, if it's real or not. And so I feel like putting false information out there is counterintuitive to what we're trying to do. And I feel like a lot of us feel that way. So when you say you have experience like that, that's something that we can kind of put in the collective bin of like, okay, well, how did that happen? For sure. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. I totally believe you because I've had a similar unbelievable experience. I'll just say real quick because you have a question before we run out of time. I had our pet dog appear in the room, and I saw him open up like a telescope, and he was inside of the closed room when he had been in the hallway. So I also have had like a teleportation kind of experience. But you have a question. Let's get to it from Sandra over on Facebook. What protection do you use or carry before doing investigations?
I have Pneumite, which is a black stone, and it's very good protection for witches because we have like a little extra. So any black stones, and then I just say a prayer. And when I say a prayer, I don't mean like the rote prayers that we were told. It's more of God got us all it is. Please protect us in this time. Surround us in your white light, black tourmaline, whatever. Thank you for anything that we will see, hear, or feel. But I also say, no one here is allowed to go through us or go home with us. You can touch me, but you can't go through me and you can't leave with me.
Yeah. Sandra, you can be very specific with your intentions and things you expect to happen during an investigation or any kind of work like this.
One other question I want to ask, since you mentioned that you're from upstate New York. So on our way, because we're down here in Virginia, so on our way to the Paracon, in Connecticut, there, we had to go through New York. So we got our little trip going through there, which we haven't been through a lot. The most this summer for sure. We went to New York twice, but we passed this place called the Fishkill Correctional Facility. Does that mean anything to you? Do you know what that is, or is that a different part of the state for you?
It's a prison.
There is when we pass by it, there's like an older part to it that kind of looked like and me and Jenny both we went over the bridge and we saw it off to our right and we were both like, I'm sure that's the way I felt the first time before I got to Penhurst. Like there was these old columns. And we got to those columns and we both went, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel sick. Just like that energy. Yeah.
And we had to look it up real quick. Like, what is this place?
What is that?
And I was like, it's still
I don't know
active.
history. So
yeah. But I just wondered if that was, for someone who was maybe more local to it, if that was, if there was what's going on with it. Because I know you can't investigate there.
I think they're still being in use. So I imagine one day when it's not in use, maybe there'll be something. That's
primo place. There was, we could feel that thing from a distance. So yeah, that was wild.
We do have
amazing.
Yeah. We have one more question before we run out of time.
Sure.
Norris wanted to know if you lost any time between the hallways in that incident.
I'm not sure. We weren't really looking at time. We weren't. We had someone that was watching the time for us, so we didn't have to worry about that. So I'm not certain if we did or not. I mean, we didn't feel like we did, but that we also didn't feel like we went down a different hallway. And I do want to say, while investigating there, I was using one of those things on the phone that brings up words.
Yeah.
And everyone is always concerned about the patients. Well, I got a message from the doctor who said he was overwhelmed, and it was just, he was sick with the things that had happened there. And we always think about the patients, but you don't think about way back in the day, the doctors were probably very young, undertrained, and it was limited staff. So you don't think about that.
Yeah. It's a lot of people going through having probably not the greatest experiences. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what else? Do you have anything coming up, Sandy? Any cons or anything like that you're looking at going to this year?
I think that's probably about it for this year. Next year, I saw that Maine Paracon looked amazing this year. I want to get in on that next year. I also want to do the Penhurst again. I didn't do it this past year. Like I said, I took about a year off.
Yeah.
But I love Penhurst. I love going there. It just feels good to me.
So looking forward to Penhurst and Maine for next year. And then tell us one more time what you have coming up. You mentioned it earlier.
Oh, I have I don't even know what it's called. It's some Viking word.
Oh, yeah. Where is that at?
It's in New Jersey. It's near Hackensack, New Jersey.
Okay. So if you're up there in that area, that neck of the woods,
it's November like 14th, 15th, something like that.
Check out the Viking Con.
Yeah.
And go see Sandy. Get a reading.
It'll be fun.
You said it was November 15th and 16th?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, Gore Manudur.
There you go.
No wonder you can't remember it.
There's a website for it, so you can check that out. GORMANUDUR.com. So you can go check that out there now.
I go to these things and I don't make any money because I have to get a room and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I love them. I have so much fun.
Yes. Well, I mean, look, we went to one all the way up in Connecticut, which is a huge travel for us. And look, we got to meet Sand Streun. So we had an absolute blast, right?
Which before we say
grateful for that reading that I had. It was just wow.
It was a weird one. Which is when I knew, me and this lady need to be friends, because that was a weird one. Before we leave for the night, check out Psychic Medium Sand Streun on Facebook, and then you can keep up with all of her positivity and her good messages and see what she's got going on. And a lot of shenanigans,
and I curse a lot.
Okay, well, that's fine. I think most of us are all right with that, too.
And if you want that link, I will have that down in the descriptions everywhere we post the show, over on YouTube and all the places on the podcast. You can find the link right there. So go give a follow, and that would be appreciated. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Sandy.
Thank you. I had a wonderful time. It was so nice talking with you. Yes, we do have to get together and just talk.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We got all the weirdness.
Yes.
Excellent. So everyone, just kind of going over what we have coming up next week. We are going to have Irene and Danica back on the show.
That's next week.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some transcribing live on the show. And then the week after, we will have Andrew Warburton on, and we're going to talk about fairies in the fairy realm. I'm excited about that one as well. We'll be talking about New York. He has a new book, Fairies, dealing with fairies in New York as well. So we'll be talking about that. And that's the end of September, believe it or not. We'll be on into official spooky season. So there we go. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. For all you listening at another time and another place, we will see you next time.